Hands to the side. Maigeri Chida. Itch. Knee. Sun. Chi. The country it originated from, well, there's a lot of confusion about it, but a lot of martial arts came from China originally, and they were passed through. So Chinese clans travelled and warred with a little island called Okinawa, and they kind of passed on a lot of that knowledge, and they had to learn a lot, and they had to learn to fight without weapons, hence karate means empty hand. So Okinawa is where it kind of mainly evolved in the early days, and then a guy called Kichin Funakoshi took that to Japan, where in the 1920s, so actually quite recently, took it to the 1920s to Japan, and then it sort of spread from Japan. So it's known as a Japanese martial art, but it's really an Okinawan martial art, and culturally it's very sort of structured around Japanese culture. So sort of discipline is really important. Hierarchy as well is really important to what we do, which is a really positive thing in terms of structure and learning, I think. If you think, oh, that's not me though, I'm good, Maigeri, don't think that. Think it's you. That's the way you will improve. Itch. Mid.
I still think my best defence is running away as quickly as possible, but I feel that this gives me the chance to get that moment to be able to break away from them and get me the self the first couple of seconds. So that makes me feel more confident, yeah.
Absolutely. I was quite shy when I was 7, 8, 9, all the way through to my late teens. Really shy person. So teaching karate has brought that out in me. Physically, it's difficult to tell because I'm not sure how I would physically evolve because I started so young. I guess I'm a lot stronger physically and than I would have been if I'd done nothing. But perhaps other sports might have given me something positive as well. I'm not so sure with that one, but certainly stronger than if I hadn't done anything at all. It's evolved a lot. The way we train, so the safety of how we train and what we do, has changed a lot. So there wasn't so much thought in the early 80s about technique affecting how your body works. So there wouldn't be so much focus on stances in a specific way, or when you kick certain things that your body's doing. So say you do a roundhouse kick and you don't pivot your support foot, it hurts your knee and damages your hip. If you do it a lot, there wasn't much thought about it in those days, and sort of sports science has helped us learn a lot about how we should do it in the right way. So it's evolved a lot for the positive in that way, and just in terms of technical karate, that's changed a lot as well. So back in the early days when I started training, which was in 1982, we did karate in quite a rigid way, and now it's evolved into something more flowing, which is what the Japanese do it like. Your muscles can't do it like that. They have no chance of doing it properly full speed. They can do it, but it's just you throwing your leg out. See what I mean?
Judo, Hapkido, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, kickboxing. They're the main ones that I did for any length of time. I decided to stick with karate because I like the traditional aspects to it, and that constant striving towards achieving perfect technique, and it's almost unattainable. Being more confident in myself and through presenting in front of the class and such like, learn a lot of skills that are useful in my job as well. Only recently, since being at the club, I've done 3 or 4 competitions, I think. I'm much more interested in the traditional side of things. The competitions are nice fun, certainly a lot of training, nice and athletic, but it always falls back to the traditional side for me.
I started it many years ago when I was about 5 or 6, because I've been doing it quite a while on and off. Just take it a lot more seriously now. Don't push myself, because I found out I can quite easily pull muscles and things and get sprains. It's not as if I walk around with weapons. So yeah, I think you've 95% of the time you're not really going to have any type of weapon on you, so it's down to just using your hands, I guess.
I was 7 when I started, so 30 years ago, and I think my attitude towards it changed quite a lot, because it was something I used to do once a week, and my dad had to drag me along, and now it's something that I want to do, and I get something really positive out of, so it's completely different now, especially as an instructor. Your perspective on why you do it and the reasons why you do it are completely different to a young kid, a little student doing it. Nice boss, stepping close, Jamie and Sajid, you step back first and down the right. Jermaine, say Joe down. Are you going to do to my count? Inch, knee, sun, counter sheep. Step up, go. Yeah, it's really important. I think that's the best thing a teacher can do is convey what they've learnt, more importantly what they've done wrong and what they've learnt from doing it wrong, and then pass all that knowledge. I try as an instructor to always reflect on how I did it, what I was like when I was their grade, and reflect on that and then give something positive back based on my experience, so hopefully people won't have to go through that same process of learning that I did, and then they can learn a lot quicker. Okay, let's carry on. Let's do that one more time together. Kagazaki this way. Knee. Sun. Okay, the next move, and down, strike the as well. Is block it, perfect. But the kicks don't have that same rhythm. We do nice kicks. There's some nice mind areas and washing style up, hobbies, but they haven't got the same intent as those punches. So give them, let's focus on the target a little bit more, just like we do with each other at chin attack. People want to expect it, they expect an easy run with the kicks, but you don't get an easy run with the chin, what do you?
With the kickboxing and the taekwondo, they focus a lot on kicks, not using the upper body as much as karate does. Karate initially is quite rigid in its format. You go into a lot of deep stances, but as you evolve through the grades, it becomes a lot more upright, a lot more street fighty, and it's basically evolved with the times of today's society. Boxing, all upper body, absolutely love the fitness training that comes with boxing, but when you've got knees and feet that you could be using, it seems a bit redundant.
When you do this move, do Kizambarai, do it again, normally you go straight from there to there, go. So it's not just a little one, then a short punch. Yeah, like in go down. We do it as a stand up and we break with it and go down. Here it's a punch. So it's short and sharp. Short, yeah? And when you hit them, that was nice. Add the command. Just do that.
Right, the last lap, that's good for self-defense.
Physical enjoyment, confidence and discipline.
Empowering. Doing karate is very empowering. socially, physically, psychologically, very, very empowering. Got to give it a go to build your self-esteem.
I wouldn't tell them it was about fighting, I'd tell them it was about learning more about coordinating your body, conditioning and learning discipline, and the fact that you learn to fight is just, you know, it's useful and it's good that you can do it and it's fun, but it wouldn't be the reason to come.
It's very character building, instills good discipline into people. It shows a lot of hierarchy and respect to senior grades, and as you progress up through the grades you get that back. It's predominantly long range striking, martial art, but there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of self-defense aspects, a lot of close quarter combat if you look close enough.
I think it can just give a lot of positives, like we've talked about physical things that are positive, mental things that are positive. It can give you a focus in life. I've achieved things in karate that have given me the confidence to go on and achieve positive things in life, in my working life. So I just think it can give you massive confidence, physical, mental strength. I just think Funakoshi's ethos of perfection of character was what karate was about. It wasn't about who can kick and punch the best. And I think that's although that's really important and the self-defense is important, actually the overarching ethos of karate is essentially more important than that.